Hello, I'm Capote, Tutorial Island Edition, PA number 12. Let's begin. Previously, The windmill proves useful, and the toilet is grid connected. The mirror ball is set, and with Mr. Takusan's chest, a large warehouse is built. Lockstone is ready, but due to insufficient wood, I'll be cutting trees around the observatory from now on. First, let's start by harvesting from the farm. This area doesn't resemble a forest biome, just a place with scattered leaves. The forest biome lacks impact despite the abundant vegetation. It's not a mountain range, it's just a row of fires. On the second lap, the prototype type dominates. Like, amidst the mirror balls, Carnival is clearly visible. It's really easy to tell, right? Yeah. Each restroom is marked, and there are a lot of restroom doors. Maybe there are 2 of them. It appears Mr. Farm was attacked with a double-barrel shotgun in the middle of the night. It's too dark to investigate further, so let's leave for now. Seems this happened to someone else tonight as well. My heart is pounding, and I can hear it tightening up. I really don't think this is good. Sometimes, it's hard to distinguish between the sound of a nail gun and a double-barrel shotgun, as the sound isn't always clear. That sound alone really makes my heart tighten up. Arimasu Sayoshi, if you want, go ahead and burn it. Fire. Fire, Yabatereto, just this one. Will this one help save me? Alright, this is the forest, the biome forest. Wow, it's huge. This whole place is just a massive forest. So, in total, there are about 3 rows, but even so, I want to plant new trees and make it lush again. I don't need a workbench, I just need wood. So up until now, I was selling them for 1,500 each, but now for PP use, it's only 250. The most I can make is 6, so that's 1/6. You know, if you make a lot, the cost really adds up. If that's the case, do you want to always keep the fridge full, like Ukakamado, and pick out some ice cream? Not really, but should we go check it out? There might be a farm too. Let's take a look just in case. If it looks good, we can change things up. There's a jackhammer crossing over there, and there's a locker here too. It's a bit of a burden, but with this layout, it's not really meant for just one person. Maybe 2 or 3 would be better, but that's just how it's set up. Samurai. Samurai's hazmat suit is level 80, so it's pretty strong. There are many injectors, so I'll keep them. Most of the equipment is likely in good condition, so I'll keep using it. If you don't press Alt, you'll be okay. If you just do it randomly and keep your hover build up, it should feel pretty good. It's full. Let's check the locker once. I end up wearing these same clothes all the time, whether I'm working or just hanging around until morning. It's like I'm always in the same outfit. Is it due to the equipment or just how things are, with me always wearing the same sweaty clothes? That's how it feels, and I don't really like it. Defense power, 3,532. Just a little. Well, that's about it. This is a set of 10 syringes, or rather a set of 4 syringes and a pouch, all together in 2 sets. Okami. Then this is a cassette tape number 14. And then all 4 syringes go through as well. This template is really necessary. Batch goo, you know. In the morning, I just can't stop yawning, but I guess that's okay. If that's the case, I'll send it over to you right away. Alright then, since Ukama doesn't seem to be waking up, I'll go and wake him up myself. I've been watching Cargo Ship Magic 4, and up until now, I've only gotten 3 Rock Dot crates, but after the update, I really want to increase my drop rate. That's why I'm opening 4 boxes to try to get more. I'm in the middle of Cargo Ship docking. I wonder if anyone else has translated this too? I thought, what's docking? So I translated it. Apparently that's what it meant last month too. Cargo Ship docking. The efficiency is high, but still, it's only about 3,000. This season, it seems like Multi-C is struggling. They're stuck at the halfway point, not making much progress. Multi-C hasn't really responded yet, and they're not heading toward the Ion side, nor are they taking on the Kikaben either. That's everyone. Maybe it's because there's school and other things. I wonder if it's hard to keep it up for a long time. America G and everyone, really. Since there are things like school events and part-time jobs, it's hard to do it all day long. This is also one of the points I noticed, but it seems like things are changing little by little. And the duration of the cargo ship docking isn't that long, actually. It's not long at all. I considered walking the whole way, but the timing wasn't feasible. The port is quite far, and I estimated it would take around 10 minutes. Should I go to Milton? Well, I'll just go to Milton. Maybe I'll go to Milton by stock. Or maybe I'll go halfway by stock. Yeah, I'll go to Milton. Jackhammer too, right? Take a deep breath and let's go. The cargo ship is leaving port. I think it will probably stop at another port, or maybe it'll just stop on land. That's the feeling I get. But most of it likely came from somewhere other than Heli. It looks delicious. That's the best. Whoa. That was a crazy move. What? Minokan, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, yeah. The change is ready, okay. 5,556. If it's not like that, then it's not. So let's go with that kind of feeling and have a good start Sunday. There are also some Odori here. If you look outside, you can see them. From the editing room, it looks like you can escape. If you can go around the Royal Road, it's fine. But if you can't, it's super scary to try to take on Milton from behind. Since I was up there, I decided to come down. Waiting and waiting, a corpse is here. Despite Dorima not being American, everyone shares my perspective, and I share theirs. The similarity is unsurprising, which is why Dorima remains standing. It's a metaphor, but it assures me that I'll become A one day. Everyone, Nobita killed you all right here. I can't remember if it was part 9 or 10, but right here in this space, you can see the entrance. This is the strongest spot with the iron bars, so from here I was killed by Thompson. Yeah, that's how it went. Doraemon too. He's likely hiding or outside. Should I go around the perimeter with the bayonet? And I think everyone knows that if you crouch and tiptoe, your footsteps won't make any sound at all. But if you keep crouching and moving and keep repeating that, you can move quickly without making any footsteps. I think everyone knows this, but that's the trick. Sometimes, even if you make a rustling sound, it doesn't really matter. But if you split the time between standing and moving, like standing for 2 counts, then moving for 1, then standing for 2, then moving for 1, you can minimize the time spent making noise. If you just stand for twice as long, it doesn't really feel right. But if you use this rhythm, you can move almost silently. This is a really good technique, so use it when you want to avoid making footsteps. I think everyone is already using this. Foreigners may prefer various fighting styles, but simply crouching normally can shorten engagement times and reduce the need for prolonged shooting exchanges. To win gunfights, avoid standing straight. Instead, crouch naturally and stay on the side for better stability and concealment. Sneaking around slowly while crouching and staying on the side can give you an advantage. Yoshichado, since I'm bandaged up, I'll patrol around the box. It's been a while since I've been out. I'll check if it's under construction. There it is. If you're not careful, you can get caught in the construction hazards, something beginners often experience. Though not reinforced with stone, the structure features triangular designs, likely to add a fancy touch. It doesn't make sense, so you really shouldn't build here. Unless it's a server with a ton of people, you probably can't do that. I mean, you don't even have much stone at this point, so you can't reinforce it right away. So why are you making everything in that shape? Well, if you're just starting out, it's fine for now. That's about the right level for stone reinforcement. Even with a PC, you can't carelessly float like Miseru Sairone. It's risky with around 56 ground enemies that could attack if you get too close while engaging them. Be mindful of where you set up your base. The counterban ban is probably coming. With this many, they'll probably launch a missile attack or something. There's only one exit, so if you get camped, you're definitely dead. It feels like a really tough spot. The missile silo is a bit tricky too. This server is probably too crowded, so even if you try to go around, you'll get swarmed by enemies. If you get stuck up there, it's over. Let's do this.
I messed up.
Oh, the counter is coming up. Even at this point, it's still a counter. It's scary. Ha! Oh, that's totally a weapon box, isn't it? The ocean's too salty, just as I thought. I really can't handle it. Yabai, yabai, bai, yabai. This is totally a youth club level, but it's still fun. For the 3rd and 4th weapon boxes, it's either a camera or a computer, like the youth club. I don't want them. I got hit again. As I thought, it's definitely a workplace. Oh, Miss Ohana, I'm really sorry. I thought if I left things like this, even if I tried to handle it, my husband wouldn't come home. With timing like this, it's possible to go underground and attack. And whether it's a junk or a sander, honestly, even if it's a monument, it doesn't matter. Maybe I should just go in with a bang. It's perfect. I was able to eat a full meal. I want to take a risk, break it down, and strip it. I want to chase after them, maybe with the rocket group or not. Either way, I want to do whatever is the most fun. Today's schedule... If you keep running away like this, you'll probably show your true colors soon. I don't think this guy's coming up here.
Move up! Wait!
Yeah, the value of a single horse is equal to a soldier's entire lifetime. That's why, just like that, this is my first horse. Got it. White horse, okay. I did it! I got a Samji body. Another Samji body added. I can't get the rest of the P5, so I'll just go all P5 from now on. It's burning. This is the best. Alright, everyone, hold on tight and watch carefully. This component amount is just all over the place. All over the place, 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 all over the place. Should I prepare it for Hana-chan, or maybe Hana-chan is already full? If you eat this, it might hurt, so I'll seal it with a test and leave it alone for now. Is it okay to leave it by the window like this? Yeah, that's right. Somewhere like this should be fine. If that's the case, I'll try placing this repair bench here, and I'll put it right here. Alright, let's make about 10 horseshoes for Gale Glasswind, shall we? Okay, let's put the saddle on Solo Key. Let's hang up Solo Key's harness. That one is already grilled and cut, so it's fine. Oh, the potential of Okamado is so refreshing and nice. If that's the case, let's hold it. Should we split it into 6 days, or can we start from the 5th day? With 7, that's 13 hours. Let's keep the glass window closed here. It's not a ballet studio, so it's fine. We're not doing ballet, so it's okay. Looking from here, you can't see past the glass window at first glance, but if you look closely, you can see inside. It's more obvious than expected. This calculation is too complicated. 7 parts are already in, so we may not need to remove anything. Let's put the wooden box here and see. This should be the C4 wooden box. Let's use the C4 skin. The horse's horseshoe is crucial, so let's place it here. A pickaxe would be good, but it's not necessary for now. Let's attach it to the apparatus and set it up. With this, the stable is finally complete. Originally, it would be better to put the gold and such inside here, but I guess it's fine like this too. To reset with a sub base, build the stable from stone for better raid protection. Inside, place a sleeping bag, a large chest with custom items and weapons. If your main base is destroyed, you can reset from the sub base. Stone is surprisingly effective against raids. Just having one respawn point isn't enough. You really shouldn't build just one respawn point in Rust. Oh, it's burning. It's really burning. Nice. Oh, by the way, since this morning, it's been a bit hard here, like a stone. Maybe I should try to strengthen it. Isn't this kind of cute? It feels like I could use this stone door by opening and closing it. I thought it might be a window, but it's actually a window. After it's taken, I thought if I printed it, the window might get taken too, so I decided to make it like this. It's compact and strong, right? What do you think? To put the table on top, I'll make this part iron. Here too, I'll make it strong so I can put the table on top. I guess that's about it. I put too many ceiling lights. Oh, if I bury it here, it might get stuck. Even if I reinforce this part with iron, it should be fine. But that's what I'll do. It's not really necessary. It's not like this is a place for a lot of people. So even just here should be strong enough. Here. Maybe I'll make this part double layered, but sorry. Should I make it look like Hanekamu? Should I go with a Hanekamu style? It seems like there's a reason for evaluating this part in a grid pattern. That's why this structure is so strong. If you have a rocket launcher, you likely won't walk through here but go around instead. It's doubtful anyone would attempt to navigate all 3 floors. If you get sniped, it's over, so you need this information to prevent getting sniped. This is a so-called cupboard chip. It's completely closed off like a grid. People say it's sealed off, you know. This is the typical enclosure pattern. Sealing it off like this is the strongest way. Right. I'm not sure what to do here. I'm kind of lost. This is interesting, but it's not really about the gauge. Tonposen is attached here, and instead of making it a garage, let's make it an open space. Let's turn this into an open door and make it stone. Actually, this side is kind of awkward, so I think it would be better to start by removing the weaker door first and then make adjustments. If there's an armored door and a sheet metal door, the sheet metal door is cheaper and can be broken through at 1/3 of the cost. Naturally, people will want to break through the easiest spot first. It makes sense, as everyone wants to break through the easiest spot in the end. It's all just dummies. In this kind of battle, you might think, should I put a garage here? Or how should I place it? But sometimes it's just stone, or you get the feeling that this spot could be buried, so you try to bury it. This is a garage, right? Garage. This is also fine. Bankin's scrap metal is also a dummy. Here too, it's a dummy. This is also Bankin's door. When I thought about how much labor and cost it would take to lay out a single garage, this is probably the strongest way. This is nothing. Chest, right? If you make the first floor part a walkway and put the garage all around, it's better to take the chest from the outside, isn't it? If you end up raiding this side, you'll understand. But if it's just an empty chest, this is the hardest to find. This is serious. If it's empty, it's just empty. Place a lot of chests that don't have code locks on them. That's why you do this. I keep getting more and more uneasy, and I start to wonder if this is really the right way to break through this point. It makes me anxious. But actually, this is the strongest way if you think about it logically. This is an armored plate, and that's the most important part. For an individual, crafting this item remains expensive, requiring 71 high-quality metal and 10,000 metal fragments from the main resource storage, where timing is crucial. I ran out of wood, so I went to gather some, but I only got about 4,000 stone. Maybe it's better to just switch to metal at this point. Also, I wonder if I should just hold onto the metal tools from above, even if I don't really want to. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, put the cat in the previous chest. For the material cat, put the spare materials that belong here. I suggest placing stone, metal fragments, and other materials in the small box near C for convenience. I used the previous windmill's location as a reference and placed 4 pedestals there, but it's best to store everything in the chest for now and sort it out later. I don't really think it's a good idea to just leave it on standby either. Is this Hamchan's room? It looks just like Hamchan's room. If that's the case, then it's Ham's room. And it kind of feels like this, you know, with the door in the corner. And I wonder if this is a refrigerator or an OK, and whether it lasts for 10 hours or 18 hours or if it's an OK or not. There's a retro C here, but it doesn't seem like the moment you put in the battery, it reacts. So maybe there's some kind of lag, or maybe it's just a psychological thing, or maybe it just feels like there's a lag. So this C position doesn't really work as expected, but even so, it doesn't seem like it's particularly bad either. It's just kind of ambiguous and it doesn't really work as intended, but that's how it is. I don't really want to go in from the side with the high point. I'd rather go in from the other side, the red side, not from here. I want to make it look like I'm heading towards C4, but actually, I don't want to go that way at all. There are certain roles where you really don't want to go in that direction, so you should firmly mislead them and make it look like you're going that way, but actually not. For example, if you make it look like you can't go this way at all, then when you actually lead from here, it will be unexpected. Wouldn't you agree? If you just put up metal walls without thinking, it might seem like a good idea. But when you actually get raided, you'll realize you should have thought it through more. So if you make it look like there's definitely metal plating here, or if you make it look like it's just a cover, people might not even realize there's something behind it. But if you say there's a C here, then it might seem like the center, but actually it's not that simple. If you make it look like you can't go inside easily, people won't think to attack here. But if you just slap things together, after the turret is destroyed, someone might just look at the cracks, break through 4 layers, and start raiding from here. That's what could happen. People use various methods to break in, like explosives and firearms, depending on the individual. However, even slightly reducing the chances of a raid by carefully planning your defenses is crucial. My number 1 recommendation is to build along the coast and make the C position deep. Place it on the upper side toward the sea. So, raiding from the sea is pretty tough and requires a lot of hassle, but if you build a base with a bad cost-performance ratio, like a huge, flashy compound, it ends up being more expensive. With a simple, cost-effective build, you can get by with just 50 wood and 100 metal fragments. It's just like a code lock, but this rocket launcher can withstand 2 hits. The important thing is to place this locker on the wall of the first floor. If you don't break this locker, you can't get inside, and just seeing this locker makes solo raiders hesitate. They might get nervous and not want to waste too many tools. So with just this, you can make it much harder for them to break in. Including 100 metal fragments and a code lock, it's just 100 wood and 25 more. With just 100 metal and 100 wood, you can craft the most durable and irritating defensive item. This thing is so strong that if you don't use it properly and just place it randomly, it could actually be a disadvantage if someone tries to break in. You can also set the respawn time for the locker. I couldn't get what you would call a really good ability, and I kept getting really good building support tips. So I was just regretting it with my whole body, like, why is this happening to me, Dammy? This is another one of those times. Attach code locks to everything. Even if the type is different, it's still effective, so in that case, the enemy can't break in easily, and it becomes a real tool. It's a blast from a rocket launcher. Sometimes it can blow everything away, but when that happens, for example, if you put 1 piece of wood in and it gets destroyed, that 1 piece of wood will pop out. The triangular model is also made of wood, and you can put 1 piece of wood and at least 2 other types of items in it. For a moment, it turns into a gray box called a lost box, which you can't see unless you open it in stages. It won't fly away even if there's an explosion, so you have to open it yourself. That's one of its features. For example, if you use wood or charcoal, it works the same way. Both will disappear in 5 minutes, so the lost box will also disappear in 5 minutes. But what's interesting is that if you use a board as fuel, or if you use an appropriate item as fuel, it will last as long as the fuel does. Since a single piece of fuel isn't that valuable, you can just put one in and place 2 other types of items. That way, the lost box will last forever. I don't know if it's really lost or not, but that's the kind of thing that makes you wonder. When I saw it, I thought, what is this? This is an event. I don't really want to do it. This is a really annoying situation, so if you end up with only kacha kacha everywhere, you should add a suitable item like a fire herb or something when you use a solo key or code lock to make it more diverse. That's really important. If you become the one leading, you'll understand. Also, when you open a chest, if you only have the initial stones or nothing inside, it's not good. Empty chests in games, like those found in Akiramatsu or starting areas, can be frustrating for players. It seems pointless to include a chest if there's nothing inside, and it can be annoying to encounter them. It's like being made a fool of and treated like an idiot. Even if you consider it trash, it's still trash. For instance, if you find items like fireworks, wood, or other materials in a locker's lost box, you might think someone left something valuable. However, when you open it, there's nothing desirable inside. It's truly disappointing. If you break the locker, you'll only find junk. In the early days, Akira Ishimatsu, there were things like that happening. But you can't really get excited until you open the lost box, and that's just how it is.
My husband.
That's right. The first and second floors are the strongest, especially the second floor. The steel grid reinforcement makes it nearly impossible for anything to flow down from directly beneath this spot. Solo, there probably isn't anyone else in the world who can do this kind of large-scale anchoring with an online raid. Even if I was a beginner, the turret placement here is set up so that the open core is hidden everywhere, or rather so that you can see all the open cores. That's why, even if you try to go up from below, you won't get away with it. For example, if you try to go up from over there, the moment you pop up, you'll get shot by turrets. It's not just the strength of the pillars, but the moment you pop up, you'll get hit by rockets or whatever. Also, if you try to eat the turret with a double bullet structure from over there, you'll die instantly, even with full gear. So you'll just get shot down and end up writhing around below. This base is just too tough, even for a self-kill. You'd have to die once, recover your body, and... This counterattack is overwhelming. I don't see how they can handle these turrets. Should they advance from below? Regardless, it's just too powerful. For example, let's say you dig all the way up to here. There's a double layer of doors, right? And then, even if you manage to get up here, is there really a door above this? If you put a door here and another one here, in this situation, what would you do? If it were me, I'd just use a rocket launcher and blow it up. But if you keep putting up walls here and there, eventually you'll break through. Since garage doors are less durable, if you break through a metal door, this will come out. So, what would you do then? If it were me, I'd just use a rocket launcher again. Oh, and in the walking version, is this the core? Is that what it is? That's what I think anyway. This is the core right here. The reinforced central walkway, number 33, is in the middle of the first floor. Mr. Taku, you'll place an ion here, correct? Yeah, it's already collapsed here. Even though iron is durable, this part collapsed first. This part also collapsed. It was blown away by the blast here. This part too, it looks like it's collapsed. I'll break this part too. Oh, is that not enough? Even with just a little bit, it still breaks. I'll break it. I'll also break this part by pulling out the framework. This empty chest feels hopeless. Even when fully opened, nothing awaits me inside. Just emptiness. With this empty space, if I don't open even one more walking plank, I can't go any further. Even if I break this wall, I can't reach C without breaking the other wall. It's impossible to get to C. So, when I think of a stereotypical theory, there are too many foreigners who put C in the center of the first floor, so I use that as a reference when I make my own raid. Many think C should be in the center of the first floor, but I believe it's better to put it higher. I mentioned this in my last 3 videos. Some place it on the first floor of a 3-story building, which I think is riskier and weaker if in a straight line to the core. Maybe people say it's weak without fully considering it. From the beginning, this turret will eliminate everything. No matter how solidly you reinforce it, in the end, people will just come for C440 or whatever, so when they come seriously, there's nothing you can do. Simply having turrets is insufficient. It's about using the strongest items, like turrets, logically at key points. Opening up the core alone isn't the strongest approach. Taking out a key point requires more than just turrets. You can't just add a windmill and expect success. Even 4C4S on a windmill won't break through. Turrets are really strong, and I'm a bit tired. Since this is the final episode of my Tutorial Island series, I wanted to share various building tips. There are a lot of people around, so I think it's time to wrap things up at part 12. I hope everyone has enjoyed a good building life, and I've gotten deeply into Rust. Alright, so I ended up saying Otsu again, didn't I? Well, that's just how it is. The armored version of the shelter is also pretty cool. When it comes to the essence of building, there are definitely things in this video that are lacking or just not quite there yet. There are still things I haven't made. Speaking of my videos, I still haven't made the armored version of the shelter yet. For now, I'll finish up the interior of the mixing area while mixing. Let's just put it in for now. This time I'm going to use this one. Yeah, this row is what I'll use this time. I'll need 200 coins, metal plates, and some wood. Also, C4 and a chest. Oh, and some yellow paint. You can actually make it with just 2 of these. Let's give it a try. It's not really a big deal. I'll just use this rice box for now. This time I'll put it in the entrance. The originality is a bit too much, so I'll fix it and make it more standard. That's better. There are also shotgun traps, so that's good. This is fine, right? Or maybe not, I'm not sure. I don't really plan on making a base at this spot next time, but I think it would be good to put a repair bench in the courtyard. I want to make it as nice and accessible as possible. This time, I'm not going to put the tool cupboard in a place that's hard to find. I'll just put it somewhere easy to access either on this side or that side and keep it simple. This time there are 2 exits, right? So if there was only one, people would just wait for you to come out. But with 2 exits, even if someone is waiting, you can still get out safely. Isn't that a big advantage? Whether you lose or win, whether it's half and half or you lose everything, people tend to get nervous and hesitate at the door. That's just human nature. So you should definitely make 2 entrances and exits for a base of this size. That way, even if someone is camping the door, you can still get out safely. It's much harder for them to keep an eye on both exits at the same time. This time, it's over here. I've placed a C at the rocket launch site. So if someone builds a raid base from this side, I can just run to the other side. Even if they build a raid base on this side, I can just escape to the other side. So I'll run this way. I want to make a version of the shelter and an iron shelter. The video and summary section of the Samune video can be quickly reviewed. For beginners, the respawn count is around 45,000 to 50,000, which is quite good. With the super low cost, you can acquire 44 to 48 C4 SHA. A warehouse offers the cheapest storage for your materials. Let me demonstrate the process again. This isn't a building tutorial. First, place a square foundation. Keep it low, and if you want it even lower, place one like this, and then put a triangular foundation on top. Do it only if necessary. If it turns blue and you can place it, confirm it, and then use the controller to place the next wall. Next, try placing a regular roof from below, like this, but if you can't place it here, just go down and try placing it from underneath. If you can do it, you can even reinforce it. Yeah, that's good. Armor plate. Armor plate, armor plate, armor plate, armor plate, armor plate, armor plate. That's the point. You absolutely have to reinforce the armor plate on any surface that's exposed to the outside. The foundation is visible, so removing the 4 C's would be detrimental. Reinforce the armor plate and place a C on the right edge. Before that, install the roof frame first, as the C can't be added later. Solo, place the roof frame snugly on the left side, similar to a stone shelter. When you make it, you can't reinforce it with metal later, so if you place it too snugly, you won't be able to reinforce it. That's why I'm teaching you this time, to move it a little sideways. Honestly, you don't have to worry about touching it here, so just place it appropriately. For solo play, that's fine. As for the wall, reinforce it with armor plates. That's all you really need to do. You might want to use 1 or 2 metal fragments, and for the pitter you might use about 120. Also, you'll need this foundation. Just open it up however you like. It's not like you can't open the door. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If it's a square, do it like this. In the case of a square, if you do it this way, it will open right away. Just do it like this on both sides and it will open. Also for the middle of the C, do it like this. So in the middle here, you can put C4 rockets or other important resources. Just put them in here. If you want, you can cover this up. If you don't want to, you can leave it open. It's totally up to you. You don't have to do anything special. Even if you reinforce the foundation here, it won't work if it's a triangle. So you can make the foundation a triangle as well. If you want to make it a triangle, just use a triangle foundation instead of this square one. Even if you do it like this, you can still open it. So it's totally fine. Next, I'll teach you. This time, even with the building privilege of C, you want to stretch out and reach all the way to the edge of C, so you extend it as far as you can. For example, if you do it like this, it's not really a multi-C. Multi-C means you have a main C and sub-Cs on both sides. So with 3 parts, you use one as the main point and try to make the structure as strong as possible by holding 3 cores. But this time, I'm not going to go into that much detail, so don't worry about it. I'm just stretching out the tail from the main base and building stone foundations, so it's not that complicated. But this time, instead of making it triangular, I'm going to make it square. I'll extend the square foundations out like this. It feels like this, and if you keep going, you'll reach the edge of this C. So this is the current C, but if you extend the tail here, you can strengthen this area. You can't build here even if you try to place a C at this main point. That's because the armor plates and the tail of the shelter extend their collision limits all the way out here, so you can't place a C or build anything. That's why you often see people placing multiple Cs in a row. It's because of this strong effect. If you don't do that, you can't place or build Cs everywhere, and it can get really inconvenient. Multi-C has merely been holding and connecting the waveform, so it didn't feel extraordinary. That's why I thought having just one was sufficient. Just make a single mobile shelter and you're done. That's all that's required. It's fine to go a day without putting anything inside, but it's also okay to use a sheet or something similar. Avoid putting other objects inside. Did you create around 150 of these mobile shelters? Or do you mean the iron ones? They're incredibly durable and as strong as expected, even when surrounded. I recommend doing it like this. Stretch out the tail, and once you've stretched it out, the range will dry up right around here. So make a roof like this and do it this way. If you look at it in terms of maintenance, just 1 day's worth of maintenance isn't much. For example, with just 13 gold ingots and 130 metal plates, you can stretch out the tail and build this shelter. But to reinforce it, you'll need 8 C4S. So even if you think about it as 16,000 units, it's not really risky. So even if you make a shelter, it's still pretty easy for Americans to break in. Many unused structures exist, sometimes seen on servers, often in Paranoid P. However, they're too weak. If fixed, they might be too strong. In Japan, they only last about 5 days and 17 hours, collapsing without any materials. It also maintains upkeep time, lasting for 6 days. Huh? Even if you pull it out from here, since you need C48 if you want to remove the restriction on this tail search, don't break this part. It's right here on the true horizontal of this C. For example, if you smash this tail search with a jackhammer, all of this tail search will become wild soil, so it will no longer belong to this C. Since it doesn't have the effect of drying up or splitting into multiple Cs, the moment you break the root C, you can just place a C right at this contact point and fix it. The same way, you could also place it here, but honestly, I'm too tired to do that right now. In part 12, we'll do a little bit here in this shelter. Since the sea is limited by the evil spirit, it's best to build a wall and pillar here quickly. If not, it could become a raid-based target. Since it's strong, it might be built facing all 4 directions, so I'm not sure where to put it. If you want to pull it out, I'm not sure where would be best, but for tall builders, it's better to put shelters on all 4 sides. Instead of just putting an iron shelter at the entrance here or there, or at the walkway, it's better to place them all around. That way, it's harder to get in. If you make it too clustered, it becomes easier for enemies to build a raid base nearby. That's why it's better to put a turret here and here so it's harder for them to approach. If you put a box or something here, it might get in the way, but if you want to make it harder for them to build a raid base, it's best to put the raid base as far back as possible. That way, C will be the farthest back, making it harder for them to raid, so it's important to make it difficult for them to raid from that side. This is what a true builder does, predicting which direction the enemy will raid from. Luring enemies to attack from a specific side can be a strong tactic. After watching this video, when building for your clan, consider placing C along the coastline or shore. Instruct them to intentionally weaken the inland side of the structure, make it appear vulnerable and establish a red base there. This strategy will ultimately strengthen the defense. Please convey this tactic to them. This advanced building knowledge special turned into a lengthy video. However, it's beneficial to consider things from the beginning, such as structuring, which is crucial. I hope you found something useful here, whether specialized or basic. Please share your thoughts and comments. Thanks. I plan to cover the basics, but even with a simple topic like a building scale, there are many approaches, such as whether to build up with a steel frame or use an alternative. Opinions vary, so please keep that in mind. Since it's a solo base, it's not like a multi-C or anything, and it's Hanakamu from Sankaku-san, so it's pretty simple and easy to understand, I think. If you lack a basic understanding of base building, it's important to remember these fundamentals. For now, let's conclude by covering the 12 main parts. Yes, I want to finish.
Egu.
I'm a citizen. I fell. Thank you very much for watching.